Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something that literally every single business leader, managing director, and operator needs to hear right now. And hey, we aren't talking about futuristic robots or some massive multi-year enterprise transformation project. No, we're talking about what's actually happening on the ground in your office right this very second. The reality is, your team probably isn't just formally adopting AI right now, they're collecting it. And that brings us to a wildly recognizable reality that is hiding right in plain sight within your daily operations. So here is the unavoidable truth. Congratulations, your business now has an AI junk drawer. I absolutely love this concept because it makes you smile and then immediately makes you think, oh no, that might actually be us. You know the physical junk drawer, right? The one in your kitchen with 3 dead batteries, some tape, and a bunch of keys to doors you don't even own anymore? Well, your business has likely built a digital version of exactly that. Somewhere in your organization, someone is using an AI tool that nobody approved, nobody monitors, and yet everybody quietly depends on to get their work done. It's messy, it's informal, and honestly, it is spreading faster than the business can organize it.
This AI clutter list is a pattern we're seeing literally everywhere right now. Let's see if this sounds familiar. One person is using ChatGPT. Another is testing out Claude. Marketing has spun up an AI image tool for social media. Sales has a shiny new prospecting tool. Admin is using an AI transcript tool for meetings. Someone installed a random browser extension they thought was helpful. And my personal favorite, someone built a temporary automation that is now suspiciously business critical. This right here is the familiar pattern. Useful things are everywhere, sure, but they are completely disconnected. There's no clear system and no clear owner. It's just happening in isolation all across your team.
Now, if you're looking at this and thinking you've somehow failed as a leader, let me stop you right there. The data actually backs this up. To put that into perspective, 75% of global knowledge workers are already using generative AI, according to the Microsoft Work Trend Index. So the crucial point is, you are absolutely not alone, and this scattered adoption is a global B2B reality. It's not a unique failure on your part. It simply means your team didn't wait for a formal boardroom decision to start finding efficiencies. They just started doing it on their own. But while having 3/4 of your workforce actively experimenting sounds like a huge win, it leads us to a really important distinction.
And this brings us to AI activity versus AI maturity. Activity represents those scattered, disconnected tools and the informal trials we just talked about. Maturity, on the flip side, means having structured, governed operations with mapped workflows. Now here's the perspective flip. Activity is not a bad thing. Experimentation shows an appetite. It shows your team is curious and looking for opportunities to work better. But activity is very different from maturity. More AI tools do not equal more AI maturity. Having 20 disconnected shortcuts doesn't mean you have a strategy, it just means you have that junk drawer. Which brings us to a pretty serious operational question. What are the invisible risks hiding in your workflows? When you have unmanaged, undocumented tools touching your daily processes, you are operating with severe blind spots. And in business, blind spots eventually become really expensive. If your staff are bringing their own AI tools to work, do you actually know what those tools are touching? The real issue here is not the AI technology itself. The real issue is a complete lack of visibility. Your business might not know what tools are touching customer data, internal workflows, or final decisions.
To really grasp this, we have to compare visible AI with invisible risk. Visible AI, well, those are your approved tools, things you intentionally bought, you monitor, and you manage. But the invisible risk? Those are the unmonitored subscriptions popping up on corporate credit cards, or the free tiers that staff are just using on their own. You have documented workflows that you understand perfectly, but the hidden danger lies in those unofficial processes everyone suddenly depends on. I mean, what happens if the one person who understands that makeshift AI automation leaves the company? The danger isn't the AI. The danger is the lack of boundaries and the fact that you simply don't know where your data is going.
So how do we begin to fix this without causing a massive panic? There's a crucial mindset shift here. The first job is not to judge. The first job is to see. I want every operator and leader watching this explainer to really absorb this. If you discover your team is using a dozen unofficial AI tools, your instinct might be to panic or shut it all down. Don't do that. You shouldn't punish staff for trying to be more efficient, and you shouldn't make governance sound slow and heavy. The goal isn't to kill experimentation. The goal is to organize it. You can't govern what you can't see, so your very first step is simply to open the drawer and take a calm, objective look inside.
And this is where a structured methodology comes in, specifically Omnisenti's approach. Step 1, open the AI drawer. Accept reality and audit the current landscape to see what's actually being used and sunset anything else. Step 2, separate the useful from the random. Not every tool is bad, obviously, but you need to know what's genuinely helping the business work better and what's just redundant clutter. Step 3. Find the invisible risk. Expose those blind spots touching sensitive data or critical workflows. And finally, Step 4. Turn activity into an AI system. This is the big transition. It's about taking all that raw, scattered energy, designing the right architecture, and getting it organized.
So what does that system actually look like in practice? Well, it requires an AI operating system. We're talking about a structured environment featuring approved tools, clear ownership, integration logic, data boundaries, and human review checkpoints. Basically, the complete opposite of the junk drawer. This is when AI truly becomes operational. It's not when every department just goes off and buys its own platform in isolation. It's when the business knows exactly what it uses, why it uses it, where it fits in the workflow, who owns it, and importantly, where the human review points are to ensure trust and quality in the outputs. This right here is the operational transformation you need to make. Bridging the gap between scattered AI use and structured AI adoption is absolutely crucial for actual commercial intelligence. It's about auditing the mess, removing duplication, and creating real integration logic. You aren't standing at the starting line anymore. Your business is likely already halfway into AI adoption, but you kind of entered through the side doors via individual staff experiments. Now it's time to build the actual architecture.
And that is exactly where Omnisenti comes in. They act as your operational partner to help businesses cross over from that messy tool collection into a governed operating model with workflow clarity. Because the real work of AI isn't just a simple software buying exercise, right? It's making the tools actually fit the business. Omnisenti is there to help you audit the mess, keep exactly what works, remove what is risky, map the workflows, and turn all that scattered, informal activity into a real, functioning operating system that you can actually trust. I want to leave you with one final, provocative question. Do we know what AI is already doing inside our business? Notice what the question is not. The question isn't, are we using AI? Because, well, you almost certainly are. The better, much more important question is whether anyone has actually opened the drawer to find out what's inside. Because more AI tools do not mean more AI maturity. Sometimes they just mean your business has an AI junk drawer, and it might be time to open yours. Thanks so much for learning with me today, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.